Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Dana, aka Blondie Knots here on YouTube. And if you're not new here, welcome back, my friend. So today we're gonna do a little bit of a studio vlog. It's gonna be a very chatty catch up, like show and tell kind of studio vlog. And we're also gonna start a new project. So I figured this was the perfect time for me to pick up the vlog and get going on this. Unfortunately, my week has been so jam-packed. I'm doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes, filming some tutorials and stuff for a company that asked me to do some things for them. So I have been so busy with that it has been really challenging to find time to film other content. But of course, I didn't want to not film this week. How could I ever leave my besties hanging? So we are just going to do a very more chill hangout video today, and we're gonna spend the entire day together. So I hope that sounds good to you, because I am looking so forward to really relaxing just a little bit and spending some time with you. But first of all, before we get into what we're gonna be making today, I have a little bit of a show and tell, because since our last vlog, I feel like I have finished some projects, started some new ones, finished those, and I just have updates. So let's get right into some project updates, and then I will of course tell you what we're making today. So our first update is going to be a little bit of a knit update. I do have, where is it? Here we go. I do have my goose hood finally finished. I have not been able to show you guys on the vlog because it's been, I guess, that long since a vlog, but it doesn't feel like it's been that long. I don't know. Anyways, this is my finished goose hood. It came out so beautiful. I'm so happy with it. In hindsight, since I had to go buy the white yarn for this anyway, I really wished I did this with a blue yarn as the goose and like the accent color, because I really think if it would have been blue, it would have been like everything of my dreams. I think it would have like really resembled those like ceramic dishes and china that has like that blue, you know what I'm talking about, it looks like this, that. I really wanted it to look like that, and I didn't think about that until after I was like basically finishing up the ribbons at the bottom. But I could always make another one, you know what I mean? Because this was just so fun, and it's literally so comfortable. Like even my husband put it on, he was like, wait, this is actually kind of amazing. And I'm like, I know. So it's not just cute, it's also extremely wearable. And as it starts to get colder, I will be rocking this all over town, believe me. So anyway, I do still have the option, of course, to make one in blue and white. I don't know if I'll get around to it, but I would like to, I guess, if I really wanted to. I'm trying to look. I don't have any of the blue yarns. I'd have to go buy that, but now I have an extra skein of the white because I only actually needed one skein of white, and in fact I have like quite a bit of the first skein left over, so I would not need more white, but I would need blue. But anyway, all that aside, this was such a fun project. I did do steeking, which steeking is cutting your project if you haven't seen that in knitting before. It was very scary, but I'm very proud of myself for going for it and doing it, and being able to knit this in the round instead of back and forth was so helpful for me. The only thing I didn't end up doing is that you're supposed to do some like top stitching hearts up here. I did one, and then I was like, I'm not doing any more of these. They're too like time consuming for me, and I wasn't having fun. And honestly, I'm okay with like the top being plain. I think it kind of looks cute. So anyway, here's my hood update. It's so cute. I'll insert a picture because I'm not going to put it on right now because my hair is up. So I'll put some pictures into what it looks like, but I'm very proud of this make, and it really helped me build some knitting confidence. So really excited about that. I'm also wearing a knit piece today that I made last year. Actually, this is the Roll With Me sweater, and I cannot think of the name of the designer. I do apologize, but I made this with Noro Yarn, which was such a luxurious little fun project for myself. The name of this particular colorway is, I also can't remember, I'll put it on the screen. I know it's colorway 6, but this was from the last year's winter collection, where they did kind of like, they were trying to emulate like Christmas lights on the street, or like a pond that's been iced over. I think those were like the main notes of last year, if I can remember off the top of my head from talking about it so much. But anyway, this was very much giving me like the street light, like the warm reflective street light kind of vibes. So I really enjoy this colorway. I also love the way that it worked up where my sleeves are not the same color, because I just kind of went for whatever the colorway brought me to and whatever skein I was in. I just went for it. I don't really care when it comes to knitting or crocheting, whatever comes next. I like it to be a little more organic like that, and I try not to put too much thought into it. So I do have 2 different sleeves, but I really like that, and I think the color change is really beautiful. And this is a full length garment. It kind of rolls up here. I have an undershirt on because it's so cold in my office, but it does roll up at the top hem here, and then you put like a turtleneck on, it rolls up here, and then it rolls here, hence the Roll With with me sweater, but I really wanted like some kind of a turtleneck construction top last year, and I am highly considering re-knitting this with some blue yarn I got. And if I don't do that, I'm gonna make the petite knit cloud blouse. However, kind of afraid to try a German short row, but okay. One last knitting thing and then we're moving on to crochet. I promise. For all my friends who don't knit, I do apologize, but this is kind of like just the season of life I'm in right now. I'm really been enjoying challenging myself in some knit projects, but in this project bag here, which by the way, I still get a lot of questions about these project bags. They are still my favorite. I've had them since summer and they are the only bags I've been grabbing for lately. These are the Della Q bags, and what is the actual name of this particular bag? I'm so sorry guys, I can't remember everything, you know what I mean? But I'll link it in the description box, and you can definitely check them out. They are a little bit more pricey, but I will be honest with you, they're so worth it. I do love the large size and I love the small size. I have a longer medium size one that goes more this way. I don't find myself using it quite as much and I don't really know why, but I think I like the taller version better. So this is what I have. I have a large one and a small one of this bag here. But I think they do come in a 2-pack, so that's kind of nice. You do get both a small and large if you order these. However, I really like these, so maybe you want to put this on your Christmas list. I don't know. I'm debating if I'm going to be doing like a Christmas gift list this year, and if I do, those will definitely be on it. But I am making this Maxi knit cardigan, and I've talked to you guys about it before. Oh my goodness, like hello, am I knitting a blanket? Like this is so much work. I completely underestimated how long a maxi cardigan was going to take me, like duh. But I have both front panels of this project done now, finally. I am holding it together with a shoelace. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I'm working the back right now, but I have so much worked up. I did end up making my stripes just about 2 centimeters longer. The measurements are in centimeters, so I have to like think in centimeters now. 2 centimeters longer than what the pattern said. And I'm really glad I ordered an extra ball of brown yarn because I think I'm gonna run out. And so I did order more because my anxiety like could not take it. So I have it here if I need it, which will be no problem. But if I don't, I'm gonna make a matching beanie, and I kind of low-key hope I don't need it so I can make a matching beanie. But either way, this is what I have. It's so impossible to see right now, really. Maybe if I step back, you can kind of get the gist of what's going on here. I am using the Wool Gang Take Care Mohair and honestly loving it. My second experience with Wool Gang did not have a good first experience with the Crazy Sexy Wool. This yarn, however, loving so much. So as you can see, I mean, just imagine, right? Like this is how long it is on me, and I am 5'10", so that's why I made my stripes just a tad bit longer. She was 5'7", I think, in the like pictures, the model or the pattern designer was, and so she's actually like a little bit taller anyway, so I figured if I just make them like a smidge longer, they would be perfect for me, especially after I block this. So we'll see. I'll keep you updated. Hopefully, gosh, by next time we talk in a vlog, I'll have this done. I want to wear this so bad, and I'm seeing everyone making like brown and blue things right now, like quicker, smaller projects, and I'm getting FOMO from not being able to show you mine. I'm like, I'm doing it too, I promise. So anyhow, that's what I'm working on there, but it's so nice actually to be working on this project like in my office or at night, because it's getting so cold that when I have this like over my legs, it low-key feels like I have a blanket on, so it's really nice. But okay, those are my knitting updates, guys. Sorry, but that is what's going on over here. Now let's talk some crochet. Sorry, I just need to get readjusted here. So if you are on my Instagram or TikTok now, guys, I've been posting over on TikTok a little bit, trying to get hip, you know what I mean? Get with all the cool kids over on TikTok, but I have just been not able to shut up about a scarf. I randomly on a whim decided to make a scarf last week, I want to say, and when I was trying to figure out what kind of scarf I wanted to make, I wanted to use obviously yarn I already had. You guys know I'm really trying to do that this year, so I wanted to use scrap yarn. I wanted it to be colorful, I wanted it to be a blanket scarf, and I just didn't know what stitch I wanted to use, and I knew I didn't want to do just a single crochet all the way across every row. I would just be so bored and honestly probably not finish it. So I came to decide to use a moss stitch, and I ended up posting just a little Instagram story about me working on this one night, and it for some reason blew up. Like everyone wanted to know what pattern this was and what I was doing and all this stuff, and I wasn't using a pattern. I just like made it up as I went. So I ended up filming a whole tutorial on this. It's free on my YouTube channel. I posted it Thursday, so if you're interested in like really learning the nitty-gritty of it, go check that video out. I'll show you how to make this. The only thing I can say is check the comments. I pinned a comment because I made a silly mistake when telling you how many I was supposed to chain, so my apologies there. My brain is like literally fried this week, but I'm doing my best, I swear. So I did pin a comment fixing my original mistake. But this is the beautiful scarf I came up with. I am so happy with this color combination. I know it's really extremely loud with this particular sweater on. I would never pair this sweater with this scarf, but I love this scarf so much. I really love scarves lately. Since about last year, or maybe really once I moved to a colder climate, I've been loving scarves, and this is going to absolutely be a staple item in my wardrobe. I'm so excited to get to wear this more. I love that it's like kind of bright and colorful, but somehow I feel it's very wearable and like subdued. Maybe it's because I tried to incorporate as much maroon as possible, and like while I'm using a lot of colors, I tried to use like a more muted version of the colors, except for maybe a few pops here and there, but I'm really pleased with this color combo. I do also have my color combo linked in that video if you want to see the order in which I put them in and the exact color I used. It's all over there, but this is all acrylic yarn from either Big Twist or Soft Classic Loops and Threads. So super affordable scarf. You can make 1,000 of these with a skein of each because you use such a little amount. And you also don't have to weave in your ends because they do become the tassels. I do add more tassels in the tutorial to show you how, because I did want to add some more maroon again just to deepen the scarf up a little bit, but I'm just truly obsessed with this. I think it came out so beautiful, and it really looks good even wrapped twice, which sometimes I find is a tricky thing to do with a scarf. So this is what it, let me see in the viewfinder, sorry. This is what it looks like wrapped twice, and it's still quite long, but I just, yeah, I love it so much. It's such a fun little make. It's very quick. I made this in the matter of a couple hours, really, like possibly 4 or 5 hours, let's say. So not a couple, a few, whatever. But what a fun make. What a fun little winter project. I love winter because I love making beanies, scarves, gloves, hand warmers, whatever it is. I love the small projects. Oh, my bonnet. Love making bonnets, you know, those types of things. So what we're going to do today is actually make another scarf because I can't shut up about scarves. I can't promise we'll finish it in this video, but we're at least going to give it the old college try and try to get it finished because after I made this one, for some reason, even though I used a lot of greens, blues in the scarf, it feels still very warm, and it feels like it really lands on the side of reds and pinks and stuff. And yes, I used a lot of maroon, and that's most likely why, but I wanted a cooler toned version of this. So when I want it to pair with an outfit that I want maybe cooler tones with, I would have such a thing. So I really want to pull in a lot of greens, a lot of blues, a little more cream, stuff like that. So I was looking through my stash and just pulling those colors aside when all of a sudden I was like, light bulb moment, and I have a Noro skein that I would love to use to make a moss stitch scarf because I only have one. It's not a skein, it's actually called a dragon egg. That's what they call them, which is super cute. But I have a dragon egg that would make the perfect color combo, and I wouldn't even have to like switch colors or anything. So let me show you. I have showed you guys this color before, but tell me this isn't the most beautiful color combo ever. And I wouldn't even have to make it myself. So it's just gonna change, you know, whenever it feels like changing, and I'm okay with that. But these are all colors I would have pulled to remake my scarf. I probably, well, this isn't so much yellow. It might be coming really yellow on camera, but it's maybe more of like a chartreuse type of color. But I probably would have pulled almost this exact color palette to work another scarf with anyway. So I thought it'd be fun to work a scarf in my Noro dragon egg. These are really challenging for me to use, guys, because they're so beautiful just like this. I love them sitting on my shelf. They really bring me a lot of inspiration just from looking at them, but the whole point of having yarn is to make, of course, a project. So I'm gonna make a project, a scarf particularly, with this, especially only having one. I think this will be a wonderful little make for us. It is, let's see, I believe it's probably 150 grams, so there's quite a bit of yarn caked up in here for us to use. And being that we're not going to be changing colors, we're not going to have tassels being made for us as we go. So we can go about this one of two ways. First way being, we could just work the scarf without tassels. Of course, I'll just turn every row and there will be no tassel anyway. or after the scarf is done, I can go back through and add tassels, but I don't know exactly which direction I'll want to take that in yet. So that'll kind of be like a TBD thing as we work. We'll decide what we want to do with that. But I would love to just sit down and get started on this scarf with you. We can get to work and see how much progress we can make today. I'm very interested to see how much I could get done. Now, after I finish the scarf, the first thing I thought of is I really wish I made it just like a little bit longer. So perhaps since we have no tassels, presumably no tassels with this yarn, maybe we will chain 400 and something. I do want to be a little bit careful because I don't know how long this is going to take us as far as like how long the project will end up being, or excuse me, how wide the project will end up being. So I don't want to make it too long because I don't want the scarf to be like this wide. You know what I mean? I don't know how far 150 grams will actually take us. I really wonder if I weighed this scarf, got the grams from this, if that would equate to then this. Yes, that's how that works. Where's my scale? Let's just weigh it, and then I can actually find out how much this scarf weighs. I mean, it'll be a little bit different, of course, but okay, hold on one second. That is such a great idea. Let me find my scale really fast. I'm gonna weigh it and I'll let you know so we can kind of like maybe use that as a baseline because I think this is a number 4 weight yarn as well. Let's double check, but I think so. And also, let me tell you the fiber content in this because it's actually going to be gorgeous. So it's 45% wool, 35% mohair, and 20% silk. So a super luxurious combo for this project, and I don't think I do know. I think this is a number 4 worsted though, if I had to guess here. Okay, I'm sure it's on here somewhere. I just can't find it. This is also the Coma line, by the way. So I'm gonna go weigh this really quick. I think the scale is actually in my kitchen right now for a new recipe I was making, but I'll be back in 1 second. Okay, so the scarf is reading 228 grams. So quite a bit more yarn than what we have here. But I am actually okay if this scarf isn't quite as wide as my other one, but now I'm like a little bit scared to make it any longer, really. Oh dear. Okay, maybe I'll chain like maybe I'll just chain 400 and say whatever, right? Like what's the worst that can happen? It's a little bit skinnier. Okay, that should be okay. I'm a little bit scared, but I'm gonna chain 400 with this. We'll see how much 150 gram dragon egg of Noro will take us. Today's a very Noro day. Look at us, how cute. I'm also gonna be using my brand new hooks from Furl. This is the newest release that just came out this Friday. If you're watching this live on Monday, it just came out Friday. This is the After Party Metal Streamline set. So all my purple fans, this is another one for you. This one's really gorgeous though because it has purple, blue, and white. Gosh, I don't know if you can see that. I actually have a ring light on today because it's so dark and cloudy. Hello, fall and winter, right? I always forget that like the lighting will change so much this time of year, but here is what this hook looks like. It's very fun. I think this is supposed to be kind of like confetti vibes because it's called After Party. So I'm going to be using my new metals streamline for this project, which I'm really excited to get to use. I haven't used this one yet. I have 2 other sizes as well, but I'm going to use my 5.5 millimeter here. By the way, guys, if you are new to me or you just for some reason haven't tried a furls and you didn't know this, I always have it linked in my description box, but I do have a code for 15% off furls. 15, I think it sounded like I said 50. 15% off furls hooks. And they also run sales sometimes. So definitely keep an eye out, but these hooks are not only pretty, they're just so good for your hand. And so if you have any kind of hand problem and you haven't tried a furls hook before, give it a shot. Use my code for 15% off. It helps you out. And I don't actually know if the 15% off one helps me out or not, but either way, I want you to get the discount. So use it on this. And if you like a lighter hook, I would recommend the resin ones. If you don't mind a little bit of a heavier hook, I would definitely recommend the metal hooks. You will thank me later. I really think so. I'm gonna grab my yarn. I'm gonna go over to the couch and let us begin our scarf. We'll see how long this takes us to get some progress in. I'm really excited to just sit down and crochet. I think this week I have crocheted a total of maybe an hour and a half total all week. So not very good amount of time, but let's get right to work. Okay, let's do a little update because I'm starting to feel unsure about this scarf, and I'll show you why in a second. But I am just feeling like this particular dragon egg of yarn is just too gorgeous to waste on this scarf because I don't think it is working up physically as beautiful as it worked in my head. Now, granted, it looks fine, but when it comes to a moss stitch scarf, like in comparison to this, I'm not seeing the vision. And I realize I only have a couple rows worked. I think I have 4 rows worked so far, but this is what it's looking like. Is it gonna focus? Let's see. Yeah, so this is what we have going on here, and I just feel like the moss stitch is not coming through enough. I thought because it was stripy, it would really create a really interesting looking texture and just overall color combination, but I don't see that coming to life on the actual scarf itself. So now I'm really confused if I should frog this, keep this, see what you guys think, or what I should end up doing. And I don't know, maybe I'll just start another scarf with some of my scrap yarn I was going to use originally in my more cooler toned colors and just make another one this way because I really did like this so much. So maybe I need to do that, but I don't know. I don't see myself ever grabbing towards this one right now if I have this one right here. So that's kind of what I'm like thinking about and going through in my head. So maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll start another one of these scarves and wait to see what you guys say about this. But I am a little bit bummed because I do feel like this was something I was really so excited about. However, sometimes that just does happen, and I really do not want to waste this yarn on a project that I will not end up grabbing for. So I need a really good project for one cake of yarn, preferably around 150 grams would be great. But I don't know, maybe I need to use this for a beanie or something like that. And maybe I need to knit with it because I have said this before, but for Noro yarns, for me personally, I much prefer to knit with a Noro yarn than to crochet with it. For some reason, the stitches do not seem to be as well defined or as beautiful as when I knit with them. So super interesting observation, and I am yet proving again to myself that maybe Noro for me personally is for knitting. I have seen people crochet with it really beautifully, and especially in like granny squares and stuff like that, I think it looks great, but I don't know, for me I can just never get it to work the way I want it to, and that's totally fine. But yeah, that's my honest review on our scarf right now. But yeah, you let me know if you could see this coming to fruition and being something that is beautiful in this color palette. But I don't know, I just don't think that you can even really see it's a moss stitch, and it kind of just looks like messy single crochet. If you were going to crochet a scarf with this, maybe you need like an open lacy kind of pattern for it, but being this is like a number 4 weight yarn, that could be kind of tricky too. So I don't know, very, very tricky. I'm excited to hear what you guys might have opinion wise on this, but for now I'm going to put a major pause on this, put it aside, and brainstorm, I guess, a color palette for another scarf, or what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take a small break from this so I can think about something, possibly work up some lunch and stuff like that, figure out what I'm gonna do for dinner, all the things you need to get done, and then I'll meet back up with you later once I have a better game plan of what I want to make now, because this was gonna be our entire afternoon, so I need to think of something different we can do, and yeah, I will update you once I figure out what the heck that may be. We'll see. TBD, really. Okay, greetings. I'm back from lunch and we are ready to pick out the colors for our next scrappy scarf because I'm feeling much better about getting a new one started. Sorry, again, the lighting is kind of ridiculous over here. It's also so difficult to be like motivated to craft and really get anything done when it's so gloomy outside, and it has been gloomy for days. So I'm ready for some sunshine. But anyway, beside the point. Okay, let's channel like a cooler tone scarf, and I'm going to try to stay away from a lot of the colors I used, not a lot, but at least a majority of the colors I used in my last scarf. So that way they're different enough where I have a reason to grab one over the other depending on what piece of clothing I'm wearing that day. So keeping that in my mind, let's see what we can do with the colors I have available to me. So definitely we're going to start with my little blue cubby right here. You can't see it, but that's okay. As I pull them out, I'll obviously show you what I think. Weirdly enough though, looking one cabinet above, I have my pink yarn right here. There we go. Just turn you like this for a sec. You don't need to see me entirely the entire time. I have this color pink. hear me out. I know we're doing like a more cooler toned scarf, but it could be fun to have a little pop of this softer pink color. It's this beautiful color here. It's obviously not even been used yet. This is the Heartland Lion brand yarn. It's so soft. It is a number 4 weight, so it'll definitely work. What's the color on this? Let's see. Oh, here we go. Capital Reef. I'm reading this and it says no de couleur or something like that. I don't know. I was like, what is that color? So, okay, I think I'm gonna have this as like my one warmer toned color. So with that in mind, I'm gonna set that down here in front of us. And I think that'll be a really beautiful little touch to put in. Okay, so I really like this color. I did use this in my other scarf, but I think this is a really nice blue to have. I wish I had more of a dark blue, but I think this is probably the closest color I have to like a dark blue, and this will probably have to be the deepest tone in our scarf. So maybe something like this. This is a maybe for now, but I'm gonna set it down here in the meantime. I, of course, have a light blue, which I definitely think I want to incorporate a light soft blue in there. I do have a periwinkle. I don't know that I want to put periwinkle in there, but for light blue, I definitely do. Okay, I have 2 different light blues. Maybe you can see up close the difference. This one's a little bit more colored, and this one's much more pastel light blue. I'm gonna go for this, I think, so that's good. And I'm actually seeing in here, finding surprises, shopping my own stash. I think I have a blue that's gonna work. Hold on, let me put these all back so we don't have an avalanche of yarn falling on us here. This blue is so beautiful. This is Bernat Bundle Up, and this is a number 4 weight. It's 100% polyester, this one is, but this is called Beluga. Okay, so we have this. It's like one of the baby yarns, but I think it's gonna be really good with this blue. Ooh, that's really pretty. I hope I have enough of this blue, actually, come to think of it, but I'm sure if we need to switch it out later, like it won't be able to be that noticeable difference because they'll be pretty far apart. So, okay, right now we have these 3 colors. Now it looks pretty good. I'm gonna opt to put this blue back, this more steely kind of green blue. It really looks green on camera, but I swear it's blue, and it's called dark teal, by the way, in case you're wondering by Big Twist. All right, and let's see, putting those in order here. Next, I think I do want greens for sure, but I also think I want like a camel-y kind of brown caramel color maybe. So coming back here, I do have this that I tried to use in my last scarf to no avail. It did not work out. I ended up using this color instead, which I love this color, and I'm trying not to grab for this one again, but I could actually maybe do both, would even be pretty. Ooh, I don't know. Okay, now I'm actually not sure if I want these 2 together. Well, maybe. That could be cute. See, this is how like planning projects go in my head. I'm just literally sitting on my floor here for hours going, is that cute or do I hate that? Is that cute or do I hate that? So anyway, in case you're wondering what my process looks like, this is what it looks like. And then it changes like 10 times before I actually start a project. And a lot of time too, it's funny. I'll get comments from you guys that are like, you're just so bold. You just start projects. And the reason I do that is because the more I research things or think about things too long, I end up getting overwhelmed by how much other information there is that maybe I didn't know about something. So if I just start it, I am just going in blind and I just go for it right away without a lot of thought, and I figure out problems along the way. I just think that works best for me just because I am a chronic overthinker, and to avoid doing that and still have fun and make any progress at all, I have to do that and then just get going and see what happens to me as I go along. There's actually a quote I saw the other day on Instagram that was like, if you're not making mistakes, you're not making at all. And I think that is such a good quote because it's so true. If you're not just going for it and just falling when you fall, you end up just not doing anything because you're just trying to wait for the perfect moment to start, have all the perfect materials, have all the perfect knowledge, and there's just too much information sometimes. So I just go for it sometimes, you know? And that's what we're going to do today with the scarf. Okay, next color I pulled apart. Sorry for the tangent there. I think I'm going to pull out leaf green again. I did use this in my last scarf, but I do think with this particular lineup of colors, it would be a really beautiful additive. So let's take that one. And then we need another green for sure, a lighter green. I think this one's just way too much. I was going to use this, and I also have this one right here in front of you. You're holding it, thank you. But this one might be too dark too. I don't know. I really enjoy a soft color palette when I am working up I guess most projects in general, you know, unless I'm using like really rich tones, but for the most part, I really do prefer a soft palette. So, okay, I also have this color, which I did use in my last one. This one is also Big Twist, but it is light green. I don't think I'm going to use that one. I don't think that that is an appropriate color for our palette today. I have this mess of Pound of Love. These are a little bit too similar, so I can't use that. I want like a light sagey green. I have this, just a little bit of this left. This is a red heart actually, so you know how old this is in my stash. Literally from when I lived in Washington State, not DC, Washington State, and I had just learned how to crochet. I bought a bunch of red heart because I didn't know better, but yeah, here's this. So these two together, very beautiful, but I only have this much left. So I don't know. That might be okay though. You really don't need that much of a color to complete this project, which is what I like about it. So, okay, maybe that will work. Oh, I have a whole nother skein of it right here. You learn something new every day in your own stash. Okay, I think I'm gonna go for that actually, interestingly enough. And I also did have this one. This is Loops and Threads Heathered Tweed. It would be like a fuzzy yarn in here. But maybe not. Maybe I don't want a fuzzy yarn in here. Okay, I think, guys, that I'm gonna call it on this combo that we have going here. One last survey of what I've got. Make sure I don't want anything else. I also had this dark brown, but again, I think just too rich of a tone for what we're trying to accomplish. Oh, I did want to put gray in here actually. I thought maybe gray would be nice. Have that gray. Do I have another option? Oh, dark gray. No, I don't even know why I have that still. Okay, let's put that all back. Oh, goodness. So much yarn. Okay, let's see here. This is the only other gray I have. It's quite dark though, no? Oh, it's so hard to say if that would look good in here. Maybe I'll bring it just in case, but let's look at it and see what we think. What do you say to that? Yay or nay to the gray? Kind of rhymed, huh? Oop. Okay, we're losing yarn, but I'm gonna go set this up in order, like underneath my couch area where I'm gonna be sitting, and I'll show you what I come up with. I think this palette is actually looking quite good. Surprisingly, now that the pink is gone, I really like it, but I really want the pink. I'm gonna make the pink work. So, okay, this is what we have. Let's see how I set them up. I'll catch you in just a second. Thank you for choosing yarn with me and talking through the process with me. It's actually really fun to just talk out loud about it. Would highly recommend you even doing that in your own craft room. It's kind of fun. Before I started YouTube, I would just sit and talk to myself out loud like this as if I was recording for YouTube. So if you ever do that, let me know in the comments, but that is always something I've done, like ever since even high school when beauty YouTube was really big and I loved doing makeup at that point. I would like sit in front of my mirror in my room and just literally be like, so I'm going to use this eyeshadow palette. I'm going to use this color here and this color. So maybe this was always destined to somehow be my job. Okay. Anyway, I am really chatty today, guys. Can you tell? So with all these colors in tow, let's go get set up and we'll figure out what our color combo is going to be today. I am very excited. I think this is much more promising than our Noro yarn, unfortunately. Well, everyone, here we are right back where we first started the video today. I thought I would show you my scarf progress. It is like 6 o'clock now, but it's pitch black because you know how daylight savings goes. I'm still so not used to it, but yeah, it's only 6 p.m. It looks much later, but this is how much of the scarf I got complete today. I actually think this looks really stinking cute. In the camera, it's not looking quite as cute. Maybe up close you can really see. I think that hint of pink was exactly what this scarf needed, and I'm really liking this color combination. It's so different than the scarf I already made, which I love, and of course is exactly what we were going for, and I definitely think this is what I had in my head more than what the Noro yarn was able to give me, but I'm still super open to hearing what you guys think, if I should just keep trying and see if it gets better, or if you agree that maybe that yarn should be reserved for a more appropriate project, or I hate to say more worthy project of it, but it really is a beautiful yarn and I'd hate to have it go to waste. So I think this is such a good, quick, fun project. I love how much you can get done in such a small amount of time. I didn't work on this for too many hours today, but I feel like I have about half the scarf done. If I did another half of this, you know, it would be about this thick, which is a perfect thickness. So really beautiful. One more time up close just so you can really see, because I don't think the colors are picking up quite as great on camera as they are in real life. This camel color is looking really mustardy on camera, which is so interesting. But yeah, it's really not capturing quite how beautiful I think this color combo is working up. But this is also a great scarf if you guys are like looking for really quick and easy handmade gifts to make someone for Christmas time or just the holiday season in general. This would be a really thoughtful gift to make somebody and wouldn't take up too much of your time, and it's honestly really fun changing color every row because it just makes it more exciting, and then your ends are built-in tassels, so it's really kind of a win-win situation and a great use of your scrap yarn. I still have so much left of that light blue. Granted, I'm not done yet, but I'll definitely have plenty to get through the project, so you don't need that much of each color to make this scarf work. But anyways, guys, that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much actually for forcing me to take some time to just crochet for once this week and work on something fun and feel a little bit more relaxed. I really needed that. And so I hope that if you're not taking this time right now to work on something for you or do something for you, that you find some time in the week this week to do a little bit something for you for at least an hour, maybe a couple hours if you can afford to do so. It's really important that we do stuff for ourselves, and I have to constantly remind myself of that. So thank you for forcing me to do that. Thank you for spending your time with me. I really appreciate your time more than anything else. Kind of felt like a little FaceTime call with my bestie, so thanks for picking up the call for me. And I will be seeing you guys very soon in a new one. If you're new here and you feel like sticking around, don't forget to subscribe. I post new videos every Monday. Occasionally on Thursdays are always crochet, knit, craft, DIY, thrift related, right around that genre. So if that sounds good to you, I'd love to have you here. Give the video a like before you leave today. Share it with your other crochet or knit besties. And yeah, I'll be seeing you guys very soon in another one. And until then, take care of yourself. Bye! And thank you for letting me take up a little bit of your time here on the internet. I forgot to say that. I always like to say that. Okay, bye!